Hi everyone, my name is Aditi and I'm here to talk about my experiences in the campus placement drive so far. So, when it comes to all of these software or IT companies, quite obviously the most important skill that they're looking for is our coding skills. So, it is absolutely necessary to be well versed with at least one programming language, preferably an object oriented programming language, also because OOPS concepts are asked in almost all of the placement drives. So the next important skill is our aptitude skills. So aptitude will be integrated in the recruitment processes in one form or the other. It may be asked in the form of puzzles in some interviews, or it may have a round of its own, which is generally the case in order to filter out people right at the beginning. So aptitude topics include blood relations, calendars, clocks, rate and work questions, speed, distance, time, letter series, number series, coding, decoding, etc. So training regarding this will be given to you by the college, so please do make use of it because it does help. So coming to the mass recruitment drives, so far we've had Infosys, Accenture, and TCS, and the first round for all of the three was an aptitude round. So aptitude is extremely important. So in the case of Infosys, we had aptitude verbal questions, verbal meaning English grammar questions like basic sentence correction, completion, jumbled sentences and stuff like that. So it's quite easy. Also, they give numerical reasoning questions, which deals with high school math. So this was the aptitude, numerical reasoning, and verbal is common for all of these mass recruitment drives in the first round. So along with that, Accenture had also included a technical section in their first round, which included pseudo codes. So code snippets are given and we're supposed to determine the output. Now these are basic looping statements and conditional statements, so not anything complicated. And then we had network security and cloud. So there's a subject in 6th sem called computer communication networks. So it's quite important. Being familiar with that will help clear such kind of sections. And also one other important thing is know the general functions of all the tools of MS Office. They are actually asked in a few drives. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, do know the functions of these tools. Yeah. So the next round, in the case of Infosys, it was the interview. The interview was itself the next round. But in the case of Accenture, we had a coding round. So there comes the importance of coding. Because in Accenture, the coding round determines which role you're going to be getting. So it is quite important. When it comes to other companies other than mass recruitment companies, coding itself is usually the first round or maybe the second round in some cases. But most of the people get eliminated in the coding round. So it is really, really important. Yeah, so after the coding round, there may be a communication assessment, which is very simple. It's just to test your basic speaking skills, not very complicated. After that, it's the interview. Usually, after the coding round or aptitude round, it's the interview. In the case of mass recruitment companies. So, for the mass recruitment companies so far, the technical questions weren't actually, people weren't even asked technical questions in some cases, but if asked, they will be based on the projects that you've mentioned in your resume. So which leads me to this point. Please know your resume in and out. If you don't know something, some skill, or if you're not confident about it, don't even mention it. If you mention it and then not answer a question, it'll create a bad impression on the interviewers, and we don't want that. So you might as well just remove it. So don't mention it. No, mention only what you know. So be thorough with the projects because technical questions, if asked in the mass recruitment companies, will majorly be from the projects mentioned. So coming to the HR round, HR round is mainly situational, which means that they'll give situations in the work environment and they'll ask you to answer as to how you would react to that situation. So based on what you answer, questions, counter questions will be posed. So that's how it goes. And also they might ask you some questions about the company itself. So do research about the company a bit before you sit for the interview. Yeah, so when it comes to other companies other than mass recruitment companies, there will generally be 2 or 3 technical rounds, which with each round getting tougher than the previous round. So some subjects that are important for these companies are data structures and algorithms, very important. Then questions may be asked on operating systems, database management systems, again important, and computer networks, so cloud computing if the role requires it, and so on. So that's it. The most important skill to sum all of this up is coding skills. Very, very important for software companies. And then the second most important skill, which is often underrated and sometimes neglected, is our communication skills. People may know everything in the technical domain that they're applying for, but they may lose out on opportunities that they really truly deserve only because of a lack of communication skills. So do practice it because it is extremely important to confidently express whatever ideas you have in your mind. So, and that's it. And a minimum of around 7 to 7.5 actually, yeah, 7 CGPA is definitely required to clear the eligibility for all of the placement drives. So do make sure that you maintain your GPA as well. And don't worry too much. Everything will be fine. It's actually way better than you might be thinking at this point. Everything will work out. And I wish good luck to each and every one of you. And yeah, thank you.